Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be sharing with you my most anticipated books that are coming out in 2020. So these are the ones that I know are coming out. I feel like some will be, like, I don't know are going to be released later in the year, but these are the ones that I am aware about and I'm really excited for them. So I have my little list here that I'll go through. Some of them I don't want to know too much about the plot because they are continuations of the series, and if they're part of a series I just kind of go into them blind, not knowing too much about them. But yeah, a lot of these I'm really excited about, so yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So next we have A Cold Trial by Robert Dugoni, and this is the newest installment in the Tracy Crosswaite series, and I marathoned through this series over the summer and I loved it, so I'm really interested to see what this next one has in store. Like, Tracy is such an interesting character, so I'm interested to see how, like, she kind of had some major events happen in the latest one that came out, so I'm interested to see what the next one has in store. Next we have King of Crows by Libba, Bray, and this is the fourth installment in the Diviners series, and I love this one. It takes place in the Roaring 20s in New York, and it follows a band of misfits who have some sort of paranormal gift to them. Either they touch an object and know the history of the person who owned it, they can walk through dreams, that type of thing. But within this world there is the man known as the King of Scars, who is a bad spirit almost, who's in the paranormal world but is crossing over into our world, and it kind of takes off from there. The latest one ended on such a cliffhanger, so I'm very interested to see the direction this will take. The author has just a way of making you totally engrossed in this world, especially being the 20s. It's so atmospheric and it's also dark and creepy as well, so I'm really excited for this one to be coming out very soon. Next we have House of Earth and Blood, which is Sarah J. Maas's new series that she's starting out, and I'm really excited for this. Me and my friend have been rereading some of Sarah J. Maas's books, and I got her hooked on to the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy, so I'm really excited for this. I don't know the plot, I haven't read anything about it, but I think it will just be dark. I know there's like a murder that happens, but other than that I just want to go to it blind, and I'm happy to be buddy reading this with my friend. I think that will kind of add to it, so I'm really excited about this one. Next I have Path of Night, which is the third book in the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina series, so I'm excited for this because the books very much complement the TV show. The first one was like a prequel to season 1. The second book was kind of in between part 1 and part 2, so I'm assuming this one will be after part 3, so I'm interested. Part 3 comes out on the 24th, and I've been slowly rewatching the episodes so I can be all caught up when it comes out, so I'm really excited for this. Usually I'm not a big fan of books that are based off of TV shows, but this one has done a really good job at complementing the series, expanding on the characters' background, so if you're a fan of the show, you guys will really like this series. Next is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is the prequel for the Hunger Games, and I'm so excited for this. I think like it will help kind of expand on the world, because we see basically the fall of this, like, the Hunger Games system in Pan Am, but it'll be interesting to see it when it's kind of starting out and when it's still within kind of its early days. I think it'll be interesting to see because we know how it ends. I think that'll be really interesting. I do have a love-hate relationship with the Hunger Games, but nevertheless I'm still really interested in seeing kind of the development of this world. I think it'll kind of, I feel like it'll have a lot of parallels to our world kind of going on politically right now, so I think it'll be very interesting. Next is Gone to Darkness, which is the fourth book in the Sydney Parnell series by Barbara Nickless, and I'm super excited for this. This is probably one of my favorite modern crime series, and I'm really interested to see, because the third book dealt with a lot of the stuff that's alluded to Sydney's past and what happened within Iraq, and it's alluded to in the first and second book, and the third one kind of deals with the accumulation of everything that's happening, so I'm very interested to see how the direction of the series goes after that. But yeah, I love Sydney. She's such an incredible main character, and I love her canine companion Clyde. I think this book just does a really good job at showcasing PTSD and people who've come back from war, so I'm very, very excited for this one. Next we have The Enigma Game by Elizabeth Wein, and this is somewhat tied into the Codename Verity series, I guess you can say. I didn't read too much into it, but when I saw it was connected to one of the characters' brother, I was really excited for it. So it follows this girl who can't really enlist in the war. She's a little bit too young, so she's taking care of an elderly woman, and she kind of gets thrust into the war when a German pilot crashes into kind of the town that she's in, and it kind of takes off from there. So I'm really excited for this. I love the Codename Verity duology, and then the prequel that was associated with that. That was from a couple years ago. So I love World War II. I feel like I haven't been reading a lot of historical fiction. There just hasn't been a lot of new releases coming out, so I'm really excited for this because it deals with characters that I know and an author that I know that does a really good job. So I'm really excited for this one. And finally, I have the Splendid in the Vial by Erik Larson, and this is a book that's based off of Winston Churchill and his life and like what he did during World War II. So I've read Erik Larson's book, 2 of them, a long time ago. I read The Devil in the White City for school, in high school, and then I read In the Gardens of Beasts when I was in my undergrad. So it's been a while since I've read his books, but he just has a really good job at writing nonfiction books, but doing so in a way that almost is a narrative and it flows like a regular book. He does tie in a lot of things that the people actually wrote in like their diaries or has been written about them by people who knew them, and he writes it in a way that it's not like reading a textbook. You get the same amount of information out of it as if it were a textbook, but it's written in a way as if it were a novel, and I think he does a really good job with that. I'm really excited for this, especially watching The Crown. I think Winston Churchill was such an interesting character of history, so I'll be interested to learn more about him. He was just such a complex man who had a lot of issues and all that, so it'll be interesting to learn more about him, and I'm definitely excited for this one. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what books you are excited about for coming out in 2020 and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.